And welcome to another series of In Light of Awareness. And tonight is going to be our final May in the series of Coexisting with Duality. So tonight's topic is going to be on your God self and your devil self. How about that? So when you think about that, we are in the world of duality, and we have lots of parts and pieces of ourselves that are usually on opposite sides of the spectrum. You got your masculine side, your feminine side, your negative side, your positive side, all these different things. And so wouldn't you have a God self, right? And a devil self. So how many times have you heard the old cliche, oh wow, the devil made me do it, right? A good excuse for things that we don't want to own up to maybe sometimes, right? That little devilish part of you wants to come out and play, a little mischievous part of yourself. I know I sure had one. I've since gotten to be a little bit better about that. So let's kind of break two things apart when we look at that devil self. So how do you spell devil? D-E-V-I-L. Well, if you were to take the D off, what's left is evil. Okay, now again, we have two ends of the perspective when it comes to evil, right? I mean, evil can be like really, really bad, or it can be, maybe just a little teasing, like, a little fun playing where nobody's actually going to get hurt, right? So it's kind of that, like I said, that little devilish, sneaky little stuff where you want to be a little mischievous when nobody gets hurt, but it gives people something to talk about sometimes. So that's okay in jest. So just kind of remember that, where that little devil or that evil side of things, has you going to. And then when you look at the other side, you look at your God self. That doesn't mean that you're a saint all the time or anything like that, but add another O to God, and what do you get? You get good, right? So we have another duality. We have good versus evil. We have God versus devil. All these things in this experience that we're having down here in this duality planet world, which can be, it can really be a lot of fun, or you can get consumed by it and let it kind of spiral you down to where you don't want to go. So if you've listened to the last 4 episodes in this month's season, I think you will understand a little bit more why I chose to leave this episode, the God self, the devil self, till this very last in the series. So go back and listen to the previous ones, and it'll start to bring things into perspective and into clarity of what the world of duality is all about, right? And so when you look at this world that we're in, really start to seek out every aspect of your life and what's going on, in your business life, in your personal life, and even in your social life, because each one of those, you respond differently to the who you are. When we talk about who is the real you, right? What version of you shows up, and the God self versus devil self is a version of who you are. And on what level do they show up? You can be a little vindictive, or you can be, really set out to cause a problem, to really hurt someone. And that's not always someone's intention. However, when you're on the receiving end of that, whether it's done in jest or not, sometimes being on the receiving end of just that little mischievous thing can be interpreted as something totally out of the realm of what it was meant to be. So when you're allowing that little devil of yourself to come out in jest, be really cautious as to what it is that you're looking to accomplish, and be careful of who you're going to play that little trick on, right? Because some people can be really offended. Start to get to know the people in your circle of friends, right? Where their emotional balance or imbalance, again, there's that duality, balance and imbalance, right? So where are they on the scale of? And again, looking at yourself, this whole world of duality, and the program that was set up for this month was to help you understand and to reach a deeper understanding of where your personal challenges are with the dualities. Dualities in your self-confidence, or that loss of confidence, and where the doubt shows up, where your self-esteem might be gone, right? And your self-values may not show up. So all of these things have to do with these parts of who you are. Which side of the fence are you on? Right or left? Good or bad? Devilish or godlike? All of these come into play. And again, it's your perception, how you perceive things and how you interact and how you become that expression of, right? Because we talked a little bit last week on the words. So the words that you use are the least amount of damaging things, because a lot of people don't hear the actual words, or when they do, they interpret them into meaning different things because of the environment that they grew up in. So it might not always mean to someone else what it means to you. But how you say that word, and the volume in which you speak it, and the tonality of your voice really tells the whole story. And then you add your body language. When you put all three of those together, especially tone and body language, it speaks a whole movie on its own, right? Actions speak louder than words. That's kind of what that whole little clarity means. So when you look at that, then really start to step into your power and step into what it is that you're speaking. What's the message you want to get across? What's your true message of communication? So communication kind of fits into the whole world of duality as well. How do you communicate with yourself is how you communicate to the rest of the world. And again, look at that communication skills that you have at work, at play, in your social life, and in your home life, in your family life, whether it's your direct family or whether it's with your siblings in relationship that way. Everything has a little bit different meaning when it comes to that. And if you really want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with someone, start out with, I want to experiment with some things. Will you give me some feedback? Please don't take anything I'm going to say personal, but I'm going to kind of be a version of me that sometimes shows up that I'm not quite too sure if I'm really getting across what I'm looking to accomplish. So will you just kind of be the person on the other side of the movie and tell me how you interpret these things? And really be honest with me. Can you do that, friend? And you'll be amazed when you start playing these little games back and forth that how things get interpreted or misinterpreted, right? And a lot of times mutual friends, and they can observe sometimes mutual, things and reactions from different people. And this helps to broaden that spectrum, broaden your mind on a lot of things when you're looking at that world of duality and how it impacts everything that goes on in your life, and how you can increase your spirituality and start to live in the goodness of that God side of who you are, because you are made in the image and likeness of that greater power than what we are in this experience that we're having in this duality world, in this planetary world. It's so beautiful down here, and there's so much to experience, to get caught up in the little devilish end of it and the evil side of things, that we lose the beauty and the experience of why we came here and what our purpose for being here is, and having that interaction, because the whole theme of coexisting in harmony, that's the key words here, in harmony with duality, and when you can harmonize with that, right, you will get a whole different perspective. Last week we kind of talked about the forces of a magnet, where you have your negative and positive forces, the North Pole and the South Pole. And so again, when you put your God self up here at the North Pole and your little devilish self down here at the South Pole, and what do you focus on? So if you're going to focus on the little devilish things, the evil part, what are you going to accomplish? It's going to turn that upside down, so where your South Pole is going to start smashing the spirituality side of who you are. So you want to kind of turn that magnet upside down. So you want the north and the north and the south to the south, so you get that separation, where you get the resistance on your magnets, on your polarities, so that you have space in here where you can start to focus on the outcomes of that God self, on that goodness of who you are, and really start to attain all of those high qualities and become that full version of the quality of goodness that was your God-given born right. That's what makes this duality thing more into your in charge of it, you being in charge of it, instead of it controlling you. And we talked in one of the other series of this month on the subconscious and buried emotions and feelings, and why you respond to that, and different little actions that you can take to start eliminating, so that you're coming and that your mindset is very, very focused on the God spirit of who you are, that perfect soul essence, so that you can open up and be a channel from the powers to be that are greater than you, versus the opposite end of the spectrum. So I hope this all makes good sense to you guys, and please don't forget to push that like button, give me some hearts, and share this with everyone. So we kind of did an experiment tonight. We got on a little bit early just to see if anyone was paying attention, and maybe 6:30 is a little too late. So we're going to start playing with this. So really stay tuned every Tuesday, starting from between 6 and 6:30, and see what we got going for you. So next week starts a new month. We're already halfway into the year. It's June, and June is like the beginning of summertime, which is going to be so much fun. So now that we talked about duality and finding that harmonizing part of it, what we're going to discuss next month is going to be synchronicity. So how appropriate is that? And so when I talk about the synchronicity of everything in your life, you will see how it follows up with duality, and how you can begin synchronizing and becoming a total vibrational match from what that higher power has to offer for us. And so it works into the innate things, it works into manifestation, it works into like the laws of attraction, all kinds of things. So next week, if you thought this month was exciting, next month is even going to be greater excitement. So I can hardly wait. So again, please share this video with everyone that you know, and put it out there, because it is all about becoming enlightened on so many things that are going on. And be sure to comment in the box, because your feedback helps this little program to become what you want it to be. Because it's not about me, it's about you. What do you want to hear about? And please put those comments in there. And if you have any questions, please put those questions in there as well, because I will answer those on the next show. And I go through these several times, like every day I go in to check to see if there's new questions, so that I can be prepared and ready to answer those questions for you. And again, be sure and comment and express to me what you would like to hear more of, because that may be the next series episode for the following month. How cool would that be? And we can even do it in your honor. We'll make this fun, because it is all about you. So that's going to wrap things up tonight. And I want to thank you all for coming, whether you were here while things were going on live, or you watched the replay. So thank you for being here. And please don't forget to share, and don't forget to join us next week. Thank you so much, and have a great night.